How do you remove a student loan from your credit report? The problem is if something happened, like you made a late payment or some sort of default or delinquency happened, the answer is you're not going to be able to pull it off your credit report for the 7-year waiting period that it takes for negative credit events to come off. Now, sometimes there's a mistake that's made. If there's a mistake that's made on your student loans that shows up on your credit report, then you would need to contact your loan servicer. What you can do is go to annualcreditreport.com and request a free copy of your credit report from one of the major credit bureaus. And you'll find listed on there the contact information for whoever holds this loan that may or may not have said that it's paid off yet. So if you think it should be paid off, but it isn't listed as paid off, then they'll have contact information for that lender that you could call to make sure that it's corrected. You could also contact the credit bureaus directly, but that's something that's a little bit outside of the scope of this video. The thing that you'll want to do if you have loans on the federal system that are in default is you can rehabilitate them. So what you can do is you can make on-time payments for 9 months, and if you do that successfully, then your loan is rehabilitated if it's a federal loan and you've never done rehabilitation before. What that means is that that comes off of your credit report, and then that event no longer hurts you negatively. Unfortunately, if you're not doing a rehabilitation or you already have done one on your federal loans, then you're going to have to consolidate your loan. That's the best route to get it out of default. You consolidate the loan, and then you can get it onto an income-based program like revised pay-as-you-earn, where the payments are 10% of your income. And if you do that, you'll get 3 additional years of forbearance, and that's going to give you relief so that you don't have to stress out as much about making payments if something bad did happen and you weren't able to afford your payments. So if you want some event, some student loan to come off your credit report, then you do want to go ahead and go and log in and look at the contact information for that lender and try to contact them to clarify any mistakes that are made. And if you did make a mistake and you had a default or you had a delinquency and you want that to come off of your credit report, just know that you do have to wait probably about 7 years for that statute of limitations to be done with, and then that event comes off of your credit report. There is also another thing where if a private lender does not file a judgment against you and get a judgment within 7 years of you making your last payment being in default, then that loan basically disappears from your credit report in a lot of situations. You need to consult with an attorney if you're in that situation, but just realize that a lot of collections agencies, their strategy for private student loans, especially private student loans that are past the statute of limitations, is they'll contact you and really try to guilt trip you into making one payment, because if they can convince you to make one payment, it restarts that process all over again in that 7-year countdown. So that's one of the worst things you can do if you haven't made a payment on your student loans in forever, and if your loans are not federal when they're with a private lender, is make a payment. You want to consult with an attorney first before you make any payment to get your private loans out of default, just to make sure you're not doing something dumb. For federal student loans, though, the only way to get it off your credit report is doing a rehabilitation. Anything else, you're going to be stuck with that 7-year statute of limitations. I hope that helps. If you're going through struggles right now with your student loans, just check out studentloanplanner.com/help. We might be able to help you if you can afford to get a custom plan for your situation.